Hello everybody, what is up? This is Eddie and welcome to Ranking Premier League Signings, our final part after the dramatic deadline day we had. Oh my, what a deadline day window that was. Hopefully I've got everybody here. Obviously these signings are from before as well, some of them because obviously they wouldn't include in our last video. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so kick off with Endo. Honestly, I think is a decent signing for Liverpool. I really do rate Endo. Obviously, you could argue maybe it's not the quality that Liverpool should be looking for, but there is ability in there. We all know that. Brilliant for Stuttgart. They're captain as well. Got experience in the midfield. Playing in the top league, obviously in the Bundesliga. So I think it's a decent cover option with him. He'll compete with Gravenberch. Bit of a DM though, Endo, to be fair. So I'm interested to see how he does. Next player we're going to go with is Lewis Hall from Chelsea. I think another really decent signing. I'm feeling a lot of these players could go in the decent signing category. By the way, if anybody is doing around here, please don't like to subscribe, be appreciated. And let me know your thoughts on your club's transfer window in the comments. But yeah, I think a really good signing from Newcastle, Lewis Hall. Obviously, probably one of Chelsea's best youngsters. Obviously, they're calling him pretty much like the, ginger. Well, not ginger. He's not really ginger. He's more like blonde Frank Lampard. Really good young midfielder. Plenty of potential. I believe it's, if I'm not wrong, I believe it's an initial loan with an option to buy of about like 40 million, which is a lot of money, but there has been high praise about this youngster. Right, so yeah, I'm excited to see how he does for Newcastle. Next one is Tyler Adams. This is going to be another decent signing, in my opinion, for Bournemouth. Obviously, Tyler Adams signed to Bournemouth after his relegation release clause. Didn't actually agree a deal with Chelsea, but unfortunately that deal fell through because the Caicedo drama, that went on with Liverpool, and obviously Chelsea made their move Caicedo and basically chose Caicedo over Tyler Adams. Really good midfielder. Didn't have the best season in the Premier League with Leeds, but then again, not much the Leeds team did. So, yeah, it's always difficult, to predict how a player will do and how a player is. But yeah, I think it's a decent signing. Next one for Zanilo from Villa. I'm going to put a risk one, even though, it's a weird one, Zanilo, because he's got the ability, but he's not been the same player. There's something off about him. Obviously, he was talked up so highly at Roma, then moved to Galatasaray, and now he's on loan at Villa by option. There is something about Zanilo which I feel like is a little bit off-putting, but I do think it is a bit of a risk signing. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. But yeah, I do think it's a risk signing there, Zanilo for Villa. He is a good player, though. He's got the ability, but I think there's an attitude problem in there. Let's hope he doesn't affect the old dressing room. Okay, next one we're going to go for is Romeo Lavia. I'm going to put him in the dub section. The price that they paid, I think, was... Actually, no, I'm going to put him in the decent category, actually. Because he is a decent player, Romeo Lavia. We all know that. Ability, fantastic. But the price tag was around about 50-odd million from Southampton. A lot of money. A lot of money. I think we all know that. A lot of money for... a championship midfielder. He is young, though, obviously Belgian. I think they're hoping for him and Caicedo to be the replacements of, N'Golo Kante and, Ramirez, pacey, energetic midfielders. Next one is Ibrahim Sangreya. Honestly, a dub signing. Probably one of the best signings of the window, considering this player was linked with PSG, Bayern Munich, I believe even Manchester United and Chelsea at one point, but obviously to get a move to Nottingham Forest, which is absolutely fantastic. What a signing that is for Forest. They paid around about 30-odd million for him. A really good sign there for Forest, and I think he'll have a really good season there. Next one is Vlatko Modic. Another decent signing. I feel like this decent category could be quite full at the moment here. With Vlatko Modic, because I do think he's a great goalkeeper. Benfica don't talk really highly about him. We've got a few Greek fans on the channel that really do like him. So yeah, I think it's a really good signing right there for Nottingham Forest. I think he is a decent player. Next one is Amrabat. Obviously, the Moroccan midfielder joining Manchester United on loan with a buy option, so I'm excited to see how he will potentially do there. I think he's a really good player. Amrabat. I'm about to say Sofian Amrabat. Just Amrabat. I can't remember his first name, actually, but he's a good midfielder, young Moroccan DM. So, yeah, I think he's a decent signing again. He's got the ability, I think we all know that, along with a bit similar to Endo, a bit bizarre of a signing, but I feel like they both will do really well. Next one is Sambi Lokonga, a dub signing, considering Luton, remember. I'm not I'm ranking this now much. I think they'll have a massive impact on their team. And I think Sambi is going to have a massive impact on Luton. Luton, I watched them in West Ham. They look very light in that midfield. They struggle to have a passer and an energetic midfielder. Sambi fits that bill. He ticks all boxes. Really good W signing right there. Next one is a Spurs player, which is Brennan Johnson, joining from Nottingham Forest. Honestly, I'm going to put in the meh category. I do think it's a decent signing for a young attacking player. Actually, no. Actually, I can't put him below Romeo Lavia. So I'm going to put him in the decent category because it is a really good signing. The only thing is the price tag. They have spent a lot of money on him, and maybe that is the worry. Too much money has been spent on him. You know, what they spent around about 45-50 million for Brennan Johnson. He is a fantastic winger though, but you know, is he Spurs level? He's got potential to be. I'm excited to see how he will do for Spurs, and I think it helps out Forest a lot, you know, because Forest, you know, like selling Brennan Johnson allowed them to bring in Sangrave, like Munoz, Andromba Madeli, you know, all them players. Next player is Rob Holding. Honestly, meh. You know, experienced defender, Premier League level. Yeah, it's alright. Next one is Tezzer from Burnley, who joined them on a permanent basis for having about 15 million. Honestly, I couldn't tell you a lot I know about this guy. Obviously, not that experienced in the UK, so I'm going to put him in the meh category, even though he is an exciting player, but I can't tell you a lot about him. Alex Iwobi. I'm one of the rare people that actually really rate Alex Iwobi. I think he's a baller. I really do. I think he is a baller. So I'm going to put him just behind Brennan Johnson. Really good move for Fulham. You know, they know what they're getting with him. Winger, can play cam. His finishing can be a little bit questionable, but in terms of everything else, got brilliant, you know, right foot on him. Dribbling, brilliant. You know, can play out on the left, can play out on the right. You know, solid player. Next one is Belgrade, the Wolverhampton Wanderers midfielder. By the way, sorry if I do forget potential some of these players here, because there is a lot of players I have to remind myself. Belgrade, who joined on a very late deadline day move to Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think he will definitely improve that midfield, so I'm going to put it in the dub category. I'm going to put that in the decent category. So I mean, that is a really good move for Wolves. Low fee, good risk as well. Starsberg had a very good season last season, so yeah, I think it's a really good move for him. Next one is Andrew Omba-Madelis. This can be another signing in the decent category. I mean, for the time being, I'm going to put him in the meh because I don't expect him to be starting for Forest and like right from the get-go. Because obviously, you know, Felipe just come back from an injury with Forest. So, but I do think it is a decent signing. But I'm going to put him in the meh just for now because he isn't like... He's more one of them ones that can progress for the future. Like, he isn't absolutely amazing now. So, yeah. Anyway, Sinistera on a loan deal from Leeds United. I think a great move for Bournemouth. I'm going to put him in the very decent category. And I put him just beyond Alex Iwobi. We all know Sinistera's got the ability, shown it was at Feyenoord. Did show glimpses when he was at Leeds, but unfortunately Leeds had a poor season when he joined. But yeah, he's a baller, Sinistera, and I think he will have a really good season at Bournemouth. Unfortunately, in terms of Leeds' case, they have lost a very talented winger, so yeah. Next one is Gonzalez. Honestly, I couldn't say anything about him, so I'm just going to put in the meh category, because honestly, I couldn't tell you a thing about him. You know, like, I know Paraguayan, that's all I can really tell you, really. Luke Thomas, risk category there. Luke Thomas, who hasn't been the most, well, I don't know, I wouldn't say hasn't been the most, like, he's a good young fullback, but I spoke to a few Leicester fans of the channel, and Leicester fan doesn't really think he's ready for the Premier League yet. I think he has got loads of pace on him and loads of potential to be on the next level, but at the moment he is lacking game time. Injuries haven't been kind to him either, but he's a quick attacking wing back, and of late, obviously, Sheffield United did need a left back, but is that type of man you want? I don't know. Okay, next one is Bueno. Honestly, another risk signing for me. I don't know too much about this guy. I saw some good things in the comments. Centre back Uruguayan. Yeah, couldn't tell you much about him. Another risk signing, Teden Mengi. I think is in. I know what Teden Mengi can offer because he is obviously a young, you know, pacey, physical centre back. However, at the end of the day, unfortunately, Is he Premier League quality? Not really. Has had a few bad luck with injuries in real life. Obviously, spent a lot of time when he was on loan at Derby, which probably was his most successful loan injured. And also with Birmingham as well. He spent pretty much half the season, well, most of the season when he was at Birmingham injured. And yeah, he just hasn't really found that consistent, run of games. But I do think he's a good centre back, and I think he'll do really well for Luton. So yeah, for right now, it's a risk. Okay, next player we're going to rank here for Nottingham Forest. Is this Muriel? I'm pretty sure that's Muriel. Right. I'm pretty sure that's Muriel. Right, okay. So Muriel here, the young midfielder. Honestly, I couldn't say a lot about him either, but I know fans really rate him, so I'm going to put him in the decent category. Yeah, decent category there for Muriel. He's a solid player. Right, next player we're going to go is Masawongo. This one really surprised me, to be honest with you, because he's got the ability, Masawongo. But it really surprised me right there, Masawongo, because he's got the ability there, young French centre mid, but it surprised me a little. Next one is Dean Henderson. Palace have been barking out for a goalkeeper for many years right now, and they have potentially now finally found their man. Sam Johnson, I do feel sorry for him because he's a really good goalkeeper, Sam Johnston, but Dean Henderson is another fantastic goalkeeper, and obviously joining on a permanent basis, 4-year contract, great deal for Crystal Palace. Next player going to go over is Longley, a really decent signing right there for Villa. Loads of experience, in La Liga and the Premier League. Obviously spent loan season at Spurs, really highly rated at Spurs. Deadline day move for Longley. Yeah, I think a really good move. Loan deal, not too much to risk, really. I don't know if there's an option to buy. I don't think there is, but I could be wrong. Nuno Tavares, another risk transfer. A risk one, because... He had an alright loan spell at Olympique Marseille, but when he's looked in the Premier League, he's looked brilliant going forward, but defensively, he's looked very shaky, so I think it's a risk. Next player we're going to go in for is Matheus Nunes. A decent signing, Matheus Nunes. He has got the ability there, Matheus Nunes, to be a great midfielder. The price is a little bit worrying, but all well-rounded. He's came in to hopefully replace Kevin De Bruyne, or at least fill that void as Kevin De Bruyne's injured at the moment. But yeah, really excited to see he's going to do Manchester City. Okay, next move is going to be that Turkish goalkeeper. Meh. I couldn't tell you a lot about him, to be honest. But Fenerbahce, decently rated on FIFA. He's been linked with loads of Premier League moves before. I believe Leeds United were a club that were interested in him when they were in the Premier League. So yeah, meh. Next we're going to go over is Tommy Doyle. Honestly, this is a very good transfer. On a permanent basis to bring in a very good young midfielder which has multiple successful loan spells out at many clubs. I feel like it's a really, 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 really decent signing there for Wolves. Really decent signing. Next player we're going to go with is Cole. Well, it's really hot in my room today. The weather's really heating up today. Right, okay, Cole Palmer is going to be another player. He is a decent signing, but I think they overpaid. I really did. I think they massively overpaid. I think they panicked. Chelsea, I really do. I think they panicked. So, yeah, I think it's a decent signing. Great young winger, but I don't think he's anywhere near worth 45 million. I think 15, maybe 20 potentially. I think they really overpaid for that one. Next, we're going to go over is Nicolas Dominguez. He has got really good ability, Dominguez. His ability is very good. Joining from Bologna, pretty much a straight swap deal with Romain Fuller. Great midfielder, plenty of potential to be really good. A bit more of a technicality, will help carry the ball forward. Good dribbling. Solid pass on him. Decent signing. Next player we're going to go with is James McAtee. I think a dub of a signing. It's funny, isn't it? A lot of players in the dub signing category here, which you probably wouldn't expect, but dub signing because he had such a successful loan spell last season at Sheffield United, and now back in the Premier League, and now joined from City on a season-long loan. Great bit of business with Sheffield United, and I really do think he will have a great season. Next player is Ansu Fati. Honestly, a dub signing again. Ansu Fati, how on earth have Brighton pulled this off? Pulling off probably one of the best wingers or one of the best things to come out the Barca Youth Academy in the last 10 years. He has been absolutely phenomenal, Ansu Fati. Brilliant in La Liga. Plenty of potential. Young, quick, energetic, will do brilliant in that Brighton side. A really good signing, and I think he goes second for me, just behind Ibrahim Sangre. There still is that little bit of worry he can be injured. Sergi Reguilon, another meh signing, to be honest with you. Meh signing, Sergi Reguilon. His ability, I feel like I keep repeating myself here, but he's meh, you know. He's okay, you know. He's not really, you know, absolutely blow, you know, the park out of the water, but he's good. He's alright. Neil Maupay. Honestly, a risk. Neil Maupay has definitely lacked confidence over the years. Spending time at Everton, Brighton. Not doing too successful at them two clubs. Brilliant at Brentford, though, where the club that sold him. So maybe they could potentially find that player once again. I'm interested to see how he's going to do at Brentford, Neil Maupay, but it is a risk. Next player we're going to go for is Endo Gravenberch. Honestly, Liverpool were barking out for a midfielder, and they got that one. I'm going to put him in the decent category along with Endo, just behind Nunes. 30 million for Gravenberch. Obviously, not a big fan of the system that Bayern Munich are playing at the moment. He wants to get game time and wants to play for Liverpool, which is all you want to see in a player. So I think it's a really decent signing. Next one is Divock Origi. I'm going to put him in the meh category again. You know, top end of meh. Probably okay, actually. Hasn't had a great stint at AC Milan. Was okay for Liverpool. Hopefully he'll get some game time with Forest. I'll be interested to see how he does. Forest do have a lot of forward options. Chris Wood, Taiwo, Emmanuel Dennis. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how Origi does right there up top for Nottingham Forest. So, yeah, it's a mess on it. Next player we're going to go with is Callum Hudson-Odoi. A decent signing right there, but also a risk one, because we all know he hasn't been the same player for quite a few years now. He spent loans out at Bayern Leverkusen. Yeah, didn't do necessarily fantastic right there, but yeah, I think it's a decent signing. Next player we're going to go for is that young Chelsea American goalkeeper that they ended up signing, I believe, from New York Red Bulls, was it? Yeah, he's just like a third choice goalkeeper, but got potential. I don't want to judge him too much, so I'll just put him in the meh category, really, because you can't really judge a youngster that much, can you? Next player is Cameron Archer, a dub signing. And funny enough, he scored today as well as I'm recording this. Great signing. The thing is, the way I'm basing this off, this might seem mad having Nunes, Gravenberch below Archer and McAtee, but I feel like McAtee and Archer, these players will have more influence in the side a lot more, where I felt like, you know, these two will help out the team a lot more, whether I think City and Liverpool could survive without Nunes and Gravenberch, but these two I feel like will be fantastic for me. He scored today for Cameron Archer, so yeah, I think it's a fat dub of a signing. Okay, now we got that Burnley, I believe he's South African centre-back. I believe he joined from Espanyol. Yeah, it's a decent. I can't say much about him, so I'm just going to put it in the meh category. Now, here we go, Cutters. What an absolutely unbelievable bit of business from West Ham to pull off a player that was linked to Chelsea, you know, Brighton, you know, clubs which obviously are, you know, along with Europe in the moment with West Ham, competing for them. Well, not necessarily Chelsea, but obviously Brighton are. I believe he was linked to Liverpool as well, so yeah. Fantastic player, could play out on the wing as well as centre-attacking midfielder, play across the front three. Great signing right there, backed up. Right, Mavropanos, got Premier League experience, was playing the Bundesliga as well. A really decent signing. I'll probably put him, I'll put him here. Actually, no, I'm going to put him, no, I'm going to put him here. Yeah, I'm going to put him here, just behind Sinisterra. Right, now we've got Aaron Ramsey, who joined Burnley on a permanent basis on a season, well, actually, you know, long loan with an option to buy, I think. Yeah, he's a decent player. Fantastic at loan spells at Borough. Didn't really have the greatest loan spell at Norwich, but was one of their top goal contributions with Borough, and he was only there for half a season. Great player. Montiel, another really decent signing right there for Nottingham Forest. You know, first choice right back, I think will be really good for them. He will be really good for them. He will be really good for them. Offensively, great. Defensively, maybe could do better, but I think he's a lot more of an offensive fullback. Right, Castagna. Fulham fan, funny enough. Decent signing, Premier League experience, got the ability, threat going forward, decent cross on him. Decent. Next one is Jeremy Doku. One for the future, eh? One for the future. One for the future. Great young player, Jeremy Doku. Great young player. Really good signing right there for Manchester City. Joining for Stade Rennais. Great player. Next one is Beto. Honestly, a dub of a signing. I did not expect Everton to pull this one off. He's got goals in him. Threat, fantastic. you know, can score loads of goals. We've seen it, Udinese, tall, quick, scored with Doncaster on his debut. Really good forward, and I think he will do really well for Everton this season. And I think if they have any chance to stay up, that'll be it. Okay, Washington now. He's going to be the next player going to rank 40. I can't. It's hard to rank youngsters, man. Yeah. Right, and speaking of another youngster, big money spent from Brighton as well for the CDM that from Lille, Cameroon, I think. Yeah, decent pull-off, decent signing. Next one is Andreas Santos. I've heard really good things from Forest fans by this guy, so I'm going to put him in the decent category as well. Next one is Bender. Probably the first sign to go in the pointless. They've still got Rodak. It's just, I don't know why. He just seemed a little bit meh. Let me know, Fulham fans. And Balo Traore is a very good signing. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this video on the channel. If you guys have, make sure to like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on all these transfers in the comments. Everybody, have a great day. Love you all. See you all soon, everybody. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for watching.